boss over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright, morning.
Morning.
So we got all three commissioners in today, and Miranda and county attorney will be in shortly. And Mayor Leeper is in the gallery. We'll start with board minutes from January 23rd.
I make a motion that we accept the board minutes from June 23rd, 2026.
I second it.
Public comment,
Yeah.
all in favor? Aye. Move ahead into correspondence. So this first one, it came to my email on Friday, so I forwarded it on to Miranda to put in here. It's from the Montana Department of Administration, and it letting us know that the Phillipsburg Cemetery is behind on payments. They owe $1,675, which 715 days of it is 90 days past due. And we need to get that paid by July 25th, or they're gonna turn them into collections.
Who does their book is you?
Well, it's, what that is your annual report that you turn in and you're charged for your annual report. So whatever it is, they're not sending in their annual report. I assume, but you need to get a hold of them and I'm sure they got one too. But I guess it would have to come from the commission to say, hey, we just
Yeah.
received this, we're obligated to.
I think we need to get them on the agenda
Yeah.
and get them in here. I mean, $700 is 90 days past due. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Like you said, this last quarter they haven't paid.
Yeah, throw them on June. Before the 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get it paid for that.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, for, also, if you don't have your annual federal report, your AFR updated, that will bump you out of any kind of grants. Or
Right,
even loans.
Yeah. With that being said, does that just go in to them and the district or whatever, but just bump the whole county out there?
It's just them.
Okay.
And
I didn't know if it
this is one thing, whether or not they've had any federal grants, which I don't think they have. I don't think they've applied, they have.
The wastewater, in their wastewater, they had USDA, or not USDA, but they're applying for USDA for their new stuff.
Oh, okay, so this is something that they maybe really need to. Okay,
Which they can get help from Montana League of Cities and Towns Financial.
alright, this next one is an email that, from Chuck Stokey. About the reservoir in Georgetown there. I say that for our dam tenders deal, it's just. It's thoughts of what we need to do from here on out.
thank you.
And do that.
I'll go for that and. Get the dam tenders report.
Well, excuse me, I just want to make a comment on this. It's what we're doing. We're paying attention to it.
Yeah,
It's, thank you for your thoughts, but we're already in the process of making sure that, more water comes out. Right?
the long,
Yes.
it was a long day yesterday of being on phone calls every
hour and moving levels around and outflows. But, alright, this next one's from Montana Board of Investments in their cap. You might know more about this, Flash. I think this is for our intercap loan.
So what that is it's showing the payment that for this fiscal year, and then if you look, you'll see the balance for next year, and then, the intercap loan is paid off.
Okay, so that 107.
So like for this year, for fiscal on, 107,015.82. So, yeah, this year we paid off.
Okay.
For new fiscal year.
I asked the numbers.
Sorry.
We sure got hit on that floating interest rate with them, didn't we?
Say that again.
We got hit on that floating interest rate with them, didn't we? How they changed from when we started out 1.5 and it jumped all the way up to 5.75, now it's gone back up 4 point.
Oh, on the variable.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think it was a higher interest rate that we were doing before with the intercap.
yeah.
So we're kind of saving
They're
money,
saying-
yeah.
Yeah, so
Alright, the last one here is from Mako. Says the Montana Emergency Members Association is conducting a poll for the local fire and EMS agencies across Montana. So they just wanna try to get as many local fire and EMS agencies across the state on their list. They're asking for a response by July 10th. So maybe that's something we can forward to Jackie and Rico. Maybe have those two talk and Jackie can send them an email back or something with what they need.
I'm wondering if she didn't receive one of these. Notify her.
Alright, that's it for correspondence. Any public comment on correspondence? Alright, we'll move into public matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction. Go ahead.
Gail Leeper, Drummond, so I have a couple of things, I just talked with Sarah, Ashley and Blaine about, doing the title search, for the wagon wheel. And it is in the budget. And Blaine said, it would have to be put on the agenda. And, so go from there. And with that, because if you don't do a title search, then you don't know who is in first, second, and third position at the wagon wheel, since the passed away. And right, to collect the debt, obviously the county has a lien on it. I know Headwaters do. I've talked to the First Security Bank in Missoula, but this was just a loan officer. It was not the president of the bank or anything. She had stated they weren't going to foreclose on it, but I don't, nobody can say that. I mean, it's, so anyway, having a title search would,
Are we doing this title search because of the back taxes?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
that-
so, and then there's a budget in the clerk and recorder's office for that.
Yeah,
And then the treasurer would request that, and then we can put a tax lien on that. Is that?
right, and there is a tax lien there, and I know Headwaters also. There's gonna be more than one title search done, just because I've called Headwaters and asked. Them, and they had not done a title search, but we're going to. Just because it's a proper, the only
Yeah.
reason why I'm speaking about this commission is because people call me all the time about what is going down. Going on down there, and I wanna give them as much factual information that I can. There's 3 people that are very interested in the property that I know that have the funds to be able to do it. Within that being said, there's still, the former owner is probably on that too, but we won't know until,
Okay, now is this search possibly to do a tax deed on that property?
could be,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's what you could do because of the fact of the back taxes.
right.
And then the clerk and recorder's office has the budget to do a title search on it.
Yeah,
And then you can be going forward to do a tax deed unless whatever.
and this is gonna be a process,
Yeah.
because, I mean, it has to go through probate.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a 2-year thing, but anyway, that's my intention from Drummond's side of it, is to make sure when they're calling City Hall that I can give them the most factual information.
So did you bring this to the treasurer's attention or?
I did,
Okay.
I first checked with Sarah to make sure there was a budget line item.
Yeah.
And I went and talked to Ashley, and Ashley said it was a Blaine question, and I went up and talked to Blaine, and Blaine said, yes, it would have to be put on the
Agenda.
agenda, so.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just communicating with you about it.
All right, yeah, we can. Put it on the agenda. One of them, next couple of weeks.
Well, it's good for you to do that,
Yeah,
bring it to their, cause I think it's up to the treasurer to.
Sure, and I mean, it's just one of those things that you just kind of forget about.
we all kinda knew this was gonna probably be the most we were
We
going
did,
to.
absolutely did, but anyway, yeah.
Okay. Cool, thank you. Any other public comment?
That squirrel back in there.
Squirrel is finally like went to sleep or something, I don't know. Where'd he go, Freddie?
Just, yeah. Take them out.
Can't deal with them.
There's just some, I
Yeah,
don't
get
know, it
used
just
to,
starts howling.
yeah, the howls.
I just got back again.
Should've worn earplugs.
Yeah, would've been easier. Yeah.
They probably didn't have those for the majority of your life though, have they? Back in the day.
Toilet paper.
Any public comment?
Like Paul said, I've had lots and lots of calls, and just know that we've had a lot of calls on the water.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into each and every one of them. And the roads, we'll talk about roads in a minute.
Yeah. We just probably move right ahead into roads, I was gonna do that. So, move into roads a little early, but.
I guess I'll jump right in. Scott Struna called me yesterday and he's gonna send, they got close to maybe 500 or just a little over out of his pit so far. And he is gonna, I guess, said we'll just send the drill in and we'd look at it and we'd be paid till August anyway. But this way, I thought it'd be better that we know how much we're getting or where we're sitting.
Yeah, we keep it
Guys
tally.
agree with that?
Yeah,
So he is gonna do that. They said they do the billing at the end of the month, but he'll start working on it. And I said, just get it in and And, I talked to Gail, like, about, she wanted to borrow the skid steer to fill in their things broke down, their loaders broke down, and I said, probably not this week, but maybe next week, cause we have to get that cattle guard, and it sounded like they were gonna maybe try to take the skid steer and the excavator, that little one out there, a couple of them to start. And then with this water building up, I don't know, if I'll have to talk to the crew after today and see where they're sitting, and not, hopefully next week they can let it go for a day or 2 days down to Drummond, and I guess if we can, we can. I just don't want to promise, because I don't know what their schedule is, so.
Yeah, and I ran into Steve here before I came up here to the meeting, and they were heading out there to see if the locates got done yet, so. They have,
On that
they
note,
have today to finish them up, and then tomorrow we'll do it, so.
and then on that note, maybe that John, he's a really good mechanic, could look at her loader.
Well, it's actually your loader.
I know.
She heard me yesterday say that.
Anyway, I was thinking about maybe if we could send John down to look at it, and he knows that stuff, and actually see if we could fix it.
Yeah.
So if it's just the brakes, it might be from sitting in them O-rings and the pistons rolled, or, cause she said it'll work a little bit, and then but I'm gonna try to get hold of Sam. I wanna talk to you guys first before I start. Getting
Yeah.
talk.
I mean, especially if this weekend it's just wet and guys are just kinda looking at roads and doing. That stuff, but
Fixing, yeah, they were putting some stuff on trucks and just pretty much changing oil maintenance for like a couple days, and then they're gonna do the Cow Creek Road as soon as they drive, but it could be coming this week.
yeah,
And I've had, I don't know how many calls on it, but 911's trying to work on the tower up there too, and so we try to get it bladed. Yes, to Harold May's gate. That hasn't been done for. I don't, anyway, beside the point, but we'll try to get that done, and then we're pretty well. I ran up to Uncle Bird, they're just ones, they could jump blade down if they had to, we don't get here that.
they're gonna have to do that everywhere now after all, that's 3 inches of rain, I mean, all the roads are blown out in certain spots, but.
Dinsmore's road, we gotta try to do something at your road.
Okay.
They called.
Oh, out in front of that, right where it turns to dirt. And then I went and looked at the plug culvert out here on Rumsey last week. And so on the south or north side of the road, there used to be like some old traps on the side to kind of help collect and straw wattles at one point. And they're totally filled in, so we need to get those cleaned out. But then on the south side of Rumsey going up the hill there, from what Blackfoot did there, it's definitely gonna be a build Blackfoot. They made a mess there, and then I think there were some Jersey rails kinda to block the road, water off right below Rico's Lane up there, and those aren't back in place, is what I was told, so. The whole ditch scoured and came right down to like Judge Brown's old house where Katie McDonald's lived, and it's just flat.
Oh, yeah, shoot.
And it's all running over the road, and then that culvert is totally, you can't find it, it's buried, so I don't know what we're gonna do there, and I was thinking like, maybe a guy could cut a ditch on that north side and take it farther down, and then it can dump into an irrigation ditch or whatever, but, I don't know how deep that 5 foot is there.
Well, that's the problem, it's so, where they hit and stuff, and then they just kind of went over it. Boy, I'll tell you, it's gonna be tough for the county, cause we start blading and hitting them ditches, how are we gonna?
Right.
I mean, they're not guaranteed it's whatever it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and I told the landowner there that, like, it'll be probably fall before we get to this, but it's definitely. Gotta do something, and I talked to Steve too, and I said, I don't know, if like farther up the road, if we can. In that ditch or whatever, if we can make a water bar, and try to run it off out into the trees there, just to, so there's not so much, 'cause I think. I kinda drove all the way up there and it's running clear from the top all the way to the bottom. I mean, there's nothing blocking it. That's a steep drop there. And a long ways.
On the other note, on that Maxville Road where John Bucksbaum wants to put in that cattle guard. We need to check in on that, whether the fences aren't up yet, they're gonna try to get them, but that's gonna be more, that's gonna be a serious job.
Yeah,
And I think we need to talk with the Forest Service and see, cause Cameron keeps saying that, you know, it's our road, but I don't know, it's your road. I'm just saying that it's not gonna be something you can just go up and throw cattle like this, but they're gonna have to locate, plus digging down, I mean, it's gonna be a major.
you have to keep the road open, so you have to do half at a time.
So I don't know, Blaine, we need to, I left Linda a message, we need to find out on that road a little better, but, John said, well, it's gonna be on you guys if my cows get down there. I don't know if a guy could put one of them temporary cat guards in there, you know, like.
Where you just
Being
paint it.
there.
Yeah, I've seen them where they painted it too to make it
Oh,
look
he
like.
just did then, cause it wasn't there.
No, I've seen it before, you just like spray paint a cattle guard like white on that black asphalt kind of like. Turn them a little bit.
Oh, really?
Until they figure it out. I've seen it on some pavement roads.
Cause I mean, this is gonna be a week-long job or whatever.
Well, might be something we look at maybe, contracting out too, where they can get it done in a couple days and. Our guys are still doing our other stuff.
It'll be probably $6,000 just in call, or cattle guards or more.
So Linda will be here today. What section of road are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Maxville, right up by, just up above Fire Hall there.
Okay,
That's where the Forest Service come back in, and he said, a commissioner had it took out years ago, and now his cows, everybody's complaining because the cows come down last year, they were not, the yards down there. And he wants the cattle guard back up, but as of the other day, the fences weren't even up. But it's a major, it's not gonna be just go up and dig a little hole with cattle.
It's on the asphalt this section, right? Yeah.
I found some of the old stuff laying there, but it's, I don't know,
Just
there's no way we're gonna get.
Is it just back past the fire hall, right, as soon as you cross the.
Yeah, right, we're turning into Beckman Drive into that Forest Service where the gravel pit is, just down about 100, 200 feet down.
Oh, there's that cattle guard there for years, is there?
Well, all of a sudden last year they come out of there, but I think they got pushed down out of there by. For all their side by side and they get in the road and everything, big, that's, they were in my yard. I know to get down on the main road then, but I don't see us getting to it. I really don't, we're, you guys.
Yeah, Cameron will be here today too, so maybe we can.
Yeah,
Ask
that's
him
what I
about it.
told John that it's just, it's pretty much on the county. They're leased,
Yeah,
but because cattle guard out years and years go back before when Cliff was in there, they said. I mean,
probably when they paved it, and they took it out, cause I don't remember there one being there when it was pavement.
no. I'm just worried that, you know, we're not. John said, well, he could help, but still, we don't have we're so far behind right now, guys.
I know it's
Just we're trying to get, now with this rain, it's,
Yeah, and I know it's like, dealing with like Forest Service or some of that other stuff is like. Property owners are, like, I'm responsible for all the fence. On the Forest Service, it's whoever the private property part of that is their responsibility for the fence or cattle or whatever, so. Probably we are responsible for the cattle guard since it's coming into our right of way, or I don't know how that works, so we got a right of way all the way up through there, so.
well, then, yeah, cause next thing you know, then we're gonna have other ones, well, we want cattle guard to keep these cows from these cows.
Right.
We're gonna start cattle guard, we've been trying to get away from cattle.
Right.
Doing them or snow plow.
Well, I usually hook them and break the cattle guard and the plow and the truck and Yeah, that's something the question.
I have to check in on Raymond.
Yeah, do some, one thing that comes to mind is I'd be having the foreman do logs on when they're taking stuff out and keep the.
Well, we will now, but
Yeah.
this is you.
Yeah, Yeah, the,
Before me,
yeah. But, yeah. It's also a fence out state too, so.
Yeah,
yeah, the fence had never was across there. Too much traffic.
But,
I don't know, I guess, no, I'm gonna tell them that maybe if he can put it, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have time to do it. I get,
no, that's why I say maybe we gotta contract it out.
we'd have to put it out to bid and see what coming in and. Yeah, something we're gonna have to look at. He said the cows are going up there.
Yeah, so we can ask Linda. Since she's coming in today.
yeah, she should be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have. You're not required to put it out to public bidding, but you'd be good to get at least three bids on it.
But is this opening the doors, though, is what I'm trying to say, is this opening the doors, then is every rancher gonna come in here and say, well, you put one up there, or we up showing the president, but
Yeah,
now
we'll have to-
going back and putting all cattle guard in?
We'll have to ask Linda on that, what the deal is between our right of way and Forest Service.
Yeah, we do a little digging.
It's not good.
So. Alright. Anything else on roads?
I went down to Rock Creek and looked where they put them barriers, good, man,
On the lower end?
yeah, now we're not getting all the calls, we're the rock going down, they dug all that out, you see it in the hall shop yard. All what they brought back from Rock Creek down there, and then they put up the cement. So,
What does the road look like where they're ripping the fiber power line in? Rough?
they said they're gonna make it good, they work, yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of equipment down there, don't they?
Yeah, something guys gonna really have to watch, if they move out. They don't wanna be like this.
Yeah.
All this fiber, it's starting really,
Well-
like the weed stuff is this, I'm still getting calls on that. Aren't they,
Yeah,
haven't seen nobody spraying but the county. So we gotta make sure Ben's, if he's spraying that blackwood stuff, that we got. They
keep track of their,
Yeah.
track of their time and.
And he's leaving, so we better make sure.
Just next week, he comes in. Then,
When,
Yeah, next week.
Laura Rockford wasn't fiber, that was, electrical.
Yeah,
electrical,
oh, yeah, that was like-
they've been really good.
Do electric co-op.
He said they'll do whatever, just to make sure, cause he asked if the county wanted to pay them, if we don't have to pay for it, we don't have time for
Yeah,
that.
they're good to deal with it.
Yeah.
No, my.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people are asking about spraying and it's starting to really show. I think that's, Trish from O'Reilly's on the East Gate, O'Reilly's is trying to get a hold of you. Who's gonna see about getting an account there? And they'll match like Walmart part or prices. They wanna get on like the county, so like the other day when I ran down, I could have going over and get mapping, but they're stopping outside the zoo right something. You guys do
Right at the East Gate.
I got her number I can give to you, but she said she's been trying to get through it, it keeps kicking her out. She's the manager at O'Reilly.
At O'Reilly's.
Brand, it's easy to get a hold of.
she had been gone fall last week, bro. Or.
They've gone all last
The
week,
week before.
2 days.
Yeah.
days.
I'm still actually take a longer vacation, yeah.
But we need to do that, cause like, they'll match Walmart prices and Walmart 1540s are damn near less than half. And you go to all these others, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's saving us a lot of money.
well, that's good, okay, yeah.
And not having to ride with town.
And they had Steve had Jim go down the other day and get some stuff. Is he back normal or,
He's still on,
uh,
yeah.
Well, we need to know, cause if.
Or you can talk, you can talk about when he's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, well. Cause then, that whole, and our cat didn't call me back yesterday, trying to figure out what the hell with these bikes, so.
Oh,
I guess I better get hold of them and get today.
Haley for Drummond. So first of all, I just wanna say, thank you to Sam and to Scott with the road stuff. I think, and all of you guys, the commissioners, I think that it's come a long ways in a short period of time. And we appreciate, you working with us with our in-kind agreement. With that front end loader, we have done some maintenance and some work on it, and I will have Robin send that up too.
Can I just have maybe, if John's down there, you have it in your office, or I can grab it and then I can take it to the shop, Gail? and get
Sure,
it?
yeah, that's fine. We'll get a copy and I'll just shoot you a text and let you know. You can, pick it up.
Cause they could actually go down and take the loader and take it out, and put it inside the shop where they work on.
Sure, and it's been housed inside and whatnot, just, it's old enough that. And I don't know a lot about it, but there's I think the hydraulic tank is underneath something, very hard to get access to.
I looked at it, it's a 1950.
It is.
It's a military one, but
But-
yeah, it's still though, it's
But-
worth fixing.
But, right, but you can still get parts for it, cause we did through. Okay, so anyway, we'll get you all that information.
I think that's all I have.
Any other public comment for roads? All right, we'll move into solid waste.
On that, I see where Todd said that the granite disposal is knocked off 100 gallon. So I guess we should maybe call them and see if they drop off like this, if they take that oil from the county shop down in Drummond, if they want it too. We're gonna have to really try to start figuring out where, to get rid of used oil. That's right.
Sure, this can be brought up during road.
I work in.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the encroachment permit.
Yeah, back up, I skipped a deal, sorry. So we got a, approachment permit for, Dustin Lee, Flood up on Moose Lake, west side of Moose Lake Road. For 6 miles south of Highway 38.
One person will have to go look and just give them approval on
I
it.
can look at it on the way home, so on my way.
You can,
Well, what's the? Oh, we want to start October.
there's no rush on
Uh,
it. You could look at it and have it on the agenda again.
Yeah.
Or like the last one with Mike and I just called back in and I looked down the approved.
Yeah, you
Had it filled out and just to get it, so if they needed to get going.
You could conditionally approve it upon, inspection.
Yeah. A motion. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that I have to go out and look, that you can just approve or disapprove of, Doug Live application for encroachment permit.
I second.
Favor? Aye.
I
Alright. So now we're back in the solid waste. Well, rusty from 3 weeks being out.
Yeah, I was saying, maybe we can get a hold of Granite proposal and see if maybe they don't want that whole of the county shop and hall. There's a lot. If not, that's something we really need to start trying to figure out how we're gonna get rid of it. And the dumps are gonna be the same shape here pretty quick again.
There might be like maybe we can get a hold of at B&J Auto down here, 'cause I know they do oil changes and everything like that, maybe see who they are discarding their oil to, which maybe they got an oil burner in the shop though, so. But I would think they would probably go through a lot of oil.
That's a good idea.
And on John's site down there, I was in, got my tires rotated and asked the guy that runs the where they were gonna get the tires foamed. He said he had the stuff and John was gonna take it down there, so I, hopefully they're going back, cause he said they get right on, Adam said he'd get right on them. And he said he's told you, you know, he just,
Yeah.
that'd be the main thing is get them, they can get back up there. Other than that, I'm done.
Did we get, I forgot to look on one thing in town, but we get the dump burned up here on this
Yeah,
weekend,
supposed to burn Saturday.
Saturday or Sunday, yeah.
You did what?
They're supposed to burn the dump Saturday or Sunday, and I forgot to look on my way in. Been a good weekend to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that called David Ray or. You know, I guess.
I can look when
I never forgot who he was.
Send him a text if you want.
yeah.
You text him.
Yeah, that kinda got a bad deal there where. It got spaced out and they're not notifying people and then we were gonna jump into no open burning and they left it. I forgot all about it, cause we've never burned it twice, you know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
My bad on that, I could have got a hold of Jackie and let her know what was going on, cause she was calling, I said, yeah, we better.
Yeah, she called about that Friday or Thursday, one of those 2 days.
Well, yeah, and we was already talked to Mark with DNRC and that was moving ahead to shut down open burning and here county's gonna turn around and burn on Saturdays. Not very good communication on my part.
Alright, any, public comment for solid waste? Alright, with that, we'll move into the dam tenders report. It come up dramatically with the 3+ inches of rain we got over the weekend. Currently sitting at 6429.73, 2.76 inches above full pool. We spent all day Sunday and all day yesterday trying to get caught up with opening the valve and bleed to try to cure, match the releases for what was coming in. Where we got about the pin stock is full and it's running like 43 CFS or something like that, right around that ballpark, and then we cracked the gate valve at the dam yesterday morning at 7, and we played with it all day long just to slowly bring it up so we didn't flood out the north end of the valley. And as of like last night at 11 o'clock, we kind of peaked. We've been sitting at this elevation since 11 last night, so at least we're matching, but we still have like 2 inches going over the spillway as well. There is some snow and stuff in the high country, but I think I'm hoping, well, a bunch of us are kind of hoping that at least today, by the end of the day, we start dropping elevation.
On that note, Paul, that, Boulder Creek dropped at least 3 inches last night.
Yeah.
And it's staying, I mean, it's still running high, but it did drop down. Paul, I've been back and forth on the last couple of days just trying to figure it out, and I wanna thank Jared and Paul Talon. You know, we're asking them, hurry up, run up through this, and then we turn around, oh no, go through it, you know, so it's been kind of hectic, but. On Charles Stolke's name, we're doing everything already.
Well, I wonder if we wanna respond to his emails saying that that's what we are doing.
So this is Blaine. So, yeah, Chuck and I talked a few times yesterday and he and John Grooms, thank you guys for how you're doing there. So, yeah,
Well, the thing there, you know, he's applying that, you know, do this and do that, we already done that, we've been together and with the guys that are taking care of it.
Yeah.
We're
We've gone
currently-
beyond and.
Yeah, he was just making sure it was done.
And we're currently sitting at, like, we got like 65 CFS coming out total between the pin stock and the dam, so I mean,
Just can't forget, you know, like we talked, I mean, we're doing everything, but we still can't flood the people out down below, that's the
Right.
problem. When we're
Yeah.
open, that's why we're jumping back and
You're
forth.
good. Your guys, you're running and as we're operating as well as you
Yeah,
can,
that's, I
and
just want
they said
him
that.
to know that, cause if you just dump it, it hits down there, we're gonna wipe out a lot of ranches.
well, and that's the thing too, yeah, I mean, that's like me and Jackie yesterday, we were looking at all the stream inflows and everything coming from Boulder Creek, and you gotta take all that into account. And then look at the level of Flint Creek going into George, or into Park Fork, so I mean, gotta kinda, as the water goes down more down there, we can start dumping more out if we need to up here with. Cause it's gonna be an all week ordeal with the snow in the high country and.
Oh, we
Yeah,
built it twice now,
build it twice in 1 year, yeah,
that's pretty good.
so.
Might go 3 times.
Yeah, might go 3 times.
You look at, Flint Creek go coming up this morning, it's right on top of the banks.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, it's,
even right here, right outside town, it's full.
I think we're
Water.
doing good, I guess, you know, just can't just open and dump, they don't understand that.
It's Paul.
Mhm.
No. Are you there, Paul?
That's Brad.
Paul, I don't know.
Yeah, assuming that's him.
Alright,
So on that
you
motion.
got anything to talk about, Brad?
No, not much. I just wanted to join in case you guys wanted any thoughts from us. But yeah, I think I think it looks like you're doing a good job because it's peaked out today, and yeah, it's gonna start dropping. There is some snow though, like you say. So, but yeah, I like where you're at, or you know, if you need to let a little more out or something like that. But yeah, I think it's going well.
And then I think once we, drop enough where nothing going out the spillway, we'll start shutting that valve back and work our way. I mean, we still might be running 43 CFS through the pin stock for a while, as much as we can anyways, to make some power there, but, then slowly work our way back down to 30 again, depending on inflows and lake level or reservoir level.
I agree.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing I'd add is, you guys probably know this, but DNRC has a gauge on North Fork Flint Creek now that you can see online, and I see it was at, I think North Fork Flint Creek is at 63. It's kind of down to like 58 now or something. So
Yeah, and Jackie sent me some stuff this morning on that.
And then a lot of our water comes in from Stewart's Mill too, that's not gauged too, so. It's kind of in the springs and.
yeah, no, that definitely isn't all of it, but it seems like, you know, you want to be at least above that, right? Then you are. So
Yeah, just trying to be, yep, for sure. So,
I'd entertain the motion, or I make a motion that we go ahead and just keep doing what we're doing. It's kind of hard to say we're gonna stay at this 60 or 64. When
Yeah.
today, we could all of a sudden call in right now and say, oh, let's back it back 3 or 5. So
yeah,
I think we'll just stay as we are in the working order. Yeah, that's.
and I'm hoping by the time the end of our meeting comes around that we'll start dropping.
Yeah, I'd also say that, you're dropping it, gonna be matching so you can get it down, to,
Matching back to 30 CFS.
yeah.
I'll second that.
Any public comment? All in favor? Aye, motion carried and passed.
Yeah, it's been hectic last couple of days.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, thanks for all you guys.
thank you guys.
Thanks, Paul.
You bet.
I tried calling you Sunday, last.
I talked to her.
Oh, okay.
I got hold of her Sunday morning to let her know.
Yeah, cause I tried calling you, I just said, we're gonna have to start really moving.
See, I'll just put 60 I'll put the CFS that we're kicking out right now.
So you have Dr. Scorpio on there.
I already called for public comment. All right. We're a couple minutes early here, but we'll move into the contractual agreement between Granite County and TCS Northwest for the courthouse roof project. Do we have a document for it? Oh, I thought that was like, okay. Never mind.
So I had seen the, like, one he emailed or whatever, but I haven't seen like a.
Yeah,
a
this is
print-
still the
same-
draft.
Same, make sure it's the same.
The action contract to do this.
In signing this or approving. What's that? Where it says. Now we know what it's gonna cost, so we gotta see if we can even do it, and this is what they're gonna. Yes,
I thought you'd already approved it.
Yeah. We did on the. We approved it as long as we could, afford it. Put it on a 2-year budget plan.
right?
So-
What? Yeah, yeah, okay, so
Up on that, I just,
there is in your fund accounting, there is where you can budget a project for 2 years. And this looks like would be a perfect opportunity to do that, where you can still pay for it, but you've got budget power coming from the following, the continuing year to pay for it in full, right, Glenn?
The only thing I'd say now is we're at the point where, yeah, we may not even have a payment this current fiscal year, but then you guys have funds in there that you're gonna, can be able to carry forward.
Yeah.
So that would take care of the issue, right? But, one of the things I wanna make sure that there was in there is there was, liquidated damages, that if they, they're late, and there, things unforeseeable come up, but if they were late on getting it done, they have liquidated damages. They have to put up a performance of payment bond. This is it's a customary agreement. We used it on the, elevator project, similar one on the elevator project. I guess the issue is, making sure you guys have the funds, and if you do, then I think it's a good contract.
What was the total, like 600 and?
It's,
That was with the option or the alternative 1 and 2, it was like, came out at like 6.
the base was, 487. Plus, the
480, yeah.
Can't find it. I don't know.
Well, one thing I look at this too is like, I mean,
Okay, I just
oh,
need,
go ahead, Blanche.
if I may clarify something on the budgeting for 2 years. It takes 2 years and you're gonna budget the whole amount. And for example, if they finish the project, you can still pay them because you budgeted for the following year for it to, right? Because it's a 2-year budget.
The only thing I was saying to that is that now we're getting into so late in the year that would probably be all in the next fiscal year, but if you have the funds now in your current budget, then you can just carry those forward and add to it, is what I was saying. So it may now just be 1 year budget, but using funds from the year you're carrying forward. That makes
Do you
sense.
understand?
It was originally thought they're gonna do this
Yeah,
earlier.
no, I understand that, I just.
I mean, it's gonna work out, it's just, I think you're showing that you're budgeting the payment for from 2 fiscal years for the funds to pay for the whole project. Okay,
So it'd be roughly 300,000 a year.
and if, for example,
We start at 50.
whenever they get started, if we've got the 300,000 this year that we'll budget and the 300,000 next year that we'll budget will probably hit the next year's budget, will pay it in full, right? Is that what you're saying, Glenn?
Yeah.
So glance on some of this, we're saying we're budgeting for 300. And we're 300 for next year, and if they start getting MC and
If they start what?
getting in, and it looks like it's gonna cost more on this and that. And we're only budgeted for 300 this year.
Well, you're working it as a 2-year budget. You're not working it as 300 this year and 300 next year. This is a 2-year budget with the whole amount.
Yep.
And it's in the, counting book, the fund accounting for 2 years. I'd have to probably
Alright,
look
so
at
if
it.
we budget that, like, say like this, in this next, like 27 fiscal year or whatever, we only make like $200,000 worth of payment, then we still, whatever we have left, we're moving that forward into the fiscal year 28.
So yeah, it's the revenue coming in. You're planning on 2 years of
Are
revenue
you-
coming in for the whole
Are
budget.
you talking change orders, more or less?
Well,
And then on the note, can we close for a minute in case I say a name or something?
well,
Cause there's something else I wanna bring up.
okay, my advice, I think, would be, is finish your discussion
Yeah.
on this and then can bring up that concern. If
I
you have an individual.
understand what you're saying, what Blaine, I understand.
So the base is 473,787 for clarification, I'm just stating that.
Man, I don't know where I came up with 483.
But you have the contingency on where it could be more with you have to get in there and a lot of that. The wood,
Right.
No, I
substrate, what do you call it,
And
substrate,
then
Subroof.
subroof?
when you amend the budget, then
Well,
if we get into it, we have to amend it because we found out that,
That'd be on the second year, right?
well, it's a 2-year budget. You
Yeah.
could amend it.
In the 2-year.
I mean, we're looking at, instead of budgeting every year, this little particular project is a 2-year budget.
No,
but, I mean, just for clarity's sake, though, you may all be, maybe paying it out all in this next fiscal year, but
Yes.
how much do you have in your current budget that you're gonna move forward? Do you have 300,000?
I don't know.
Okay, guess that's the,
We
Good
haven't
question, yeah.
really
okay, we
looked
gotta
at,
talk about it.
that's what I was kind of bringing up, when you didn't know what we got, and how,
yeah.
before we, yeah, no.
Could Sarah look that up real quick? We got some time for our next.
See what you have left.
See what we have
Right
left.
now,
Okay,
remaining.
Or can you look it up? Yeah, we got time here to look what we have left, move forward this year with. And then possible, like I said, if we gotta make our last payment in May, we can still budget for the following year
Yeah, it would pay it back.
to pay it back. Yeah.
The revenue is coming in 2 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you're paying in 1 year and you're still
And
gonna,
you're gonna pay it back.
yeah,
Yep.
you're gonna, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
But we should know how much we got left
I just-
this year to
the-
towards it.
The plan is to be done with it though, this building season, and so.
By October, right?
Yeah.
You don't wanna have an open road in the winter, unless you have a winter like last year, never some rain, or
Yeah.
rain, I guess, not snow.
Second, I'm trying to get in here.
Both phones started working.
I know.
I was like, oh.
I made him. Made him co-hosts, making them meetings. But some people don't want. Maybe they're just needed.
Right.
It's not flowers from doing, or is that coming from the outside?
There's no windows open.
Yeah, let's do those. That sounds good.
It's Sarah.
Just a ray of sunshine.
Jesus, trying to get into
Black Mountain.
Black Mountain. Now, what are we looking for?
You're in our building budget.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
bring up,
Yeah.
it's just, trying to figure out the time where and stuff, and it's not. You'd say that, I guess, totally understand what Blanche and Blaine were saying about the budget. My thing is that we're going ahead with this, and we haven't even finished the other job. I guess that's my biggest deal is that he needs to finish one job before he starts on another.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
And I mean, it's always, well, waiting on this, waiting on that. I know that times are tough to get parts and that, but this damn elevator shift and stuff, it just keeps, every week, there's always another excuse. And I guess that's my biggest problem accepting this, is that he hasn't finished the one and already we're talking about giving him another. That's.
I think, I mean, those are valid
Do you know the,
concerns. The, issue I think you have is if you hold off, then you're not gonna be able to get the roof done this
the account number
building
for
season is an issue.
county building?
And then they have the subcontractors work on.
411-200.
Site.
411-200.
But you understand what,
The,
hold on. we got-
I'm just looking at, maintenance. So, and this is just still the fiscal year 26, which we're in. Tomorrow will be fiscal year 27.
Yeah.
So, looks like we only spent 13% out of,
Probably, because I think that we had budgeted for like the roof if that had started, so we had a bunch in there.
So how much do we have to move forward?
well, it just depends on,
So the amount that you have in there will be like, it's everything through May. We haven't done all of June, or maybe we have.
So
Because June's will come in
the,
July, we'll do this.
the journal voucher would be a 2-year thing, so we do the total amount for the 2-year thing. And, it's in the accounting book where you, the process, so we're looking at a total for 2 years.
Okay,
And it's a little bit different than, so you might wanna,
I'll talk with
Yeah,
Hannah and
yeah.
Lisa.
yeah.
so the original thought was we were gonna be starting this earlier, and so, so the first payments aren't gonna be probably till July on. And so they all could potentially be in this same upcoming fiscal year, but thought, well, yeah, moving those
The revenue,
funds forward and then
Right.
adding to them. But
Oh, okay.
to get to the, cause the base is 473, plus if they have got rotten wood and other things out there.
So we're contingent on when they finish this project before we start another one, right?
That's what I just.
Yeah, and so does this have to be in the contract? That they need to finish?
That, you guys can require that. The issue I see though is if it gets pushed off too long, then they're not gonna be able to get the roof done this building season, so it's.
That might get pushed to next year, and we'll probably have to rebid it then.
And I totally understand that part of it, but it just seems like the elevator deal just keeps getting drugged on and on. I mean, I know there's stuff that we've had to order and that, but it's just like, and now they open the ground there, some of this stuff, there's been opportunities to get stuff.
But two, we also awarded them this. So,
Yeah, we already ordered the bid, though.
Yeah. If we're having, I mean, it was contemplated being done this building season. The issue, I guess another issue is pushing off is their materials go up on them. I don't, I think the protection is the liquidated damages if
Yeah.
they don't have it done.
That's
But then
where,
we
that's
need to
where,
go through with it.
well, yeah, that's where if they start, they're behind, we'll start hitting with liquidated damages right off the bat.
Cause we talked about before, but then we give them, they come in and we give them another 2 weeks, another 2 weeks, now look.
Spend another month, they're supposed to be wrapped up by the end of May, it's
That's the only thing, I have nothing
Oh,
against
yeah.
the guy, and that's, but
just slow.
if you're not finishing one, how, I mean, are we just gonna keep going and going? That's all in my figure.
The current you want to update on the current status of the elevators, or do you want to move on?
Wait, hold on. Alright, so. Motion to accept the contract that we're looking at here then. You're good with it, Blaine?
Yeah, yes, I understand what you're saying. If you want them, if you want them done with the
can you put that
elevator
in?
project, I would hold off on it. But if you're ready to get them going, right now, then I would move forward.
So what do we want to do?
You can make the motion.
Yeah.
You can make the motion.
I would be, I mean, my thoughts are, but yeah, let's hold it off for a week or whatever.
You wanna hold it off? Okay,
Table it for a week.
table it, yeah, get some more input from,
Yeah,
We
maybe
can.
did having TCS here or Tion.
No,
Yeah, having them here would be good.
to put it on for another week for next week, okay?
and then that'll give us a little bit to see how much funds we're moving
Yeah.
forward and.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Alright, we'll table it until next week.
Hey.
Huh?
Thanks.
for what?
Tabling.
No. We got,
I need to call for comment. We'll move into the Granite County elected officials compensation, final decision on salaries, including COLA.
I don't think there's any disagreement with the decision that was made by the compensation board on the elected officials. So I would make a motion that, due to the recommendation from the compensation board, that, the elected officials receive the 3% COLA suggested by the board.
Second.
Public comment. Go ahead. Public comment on the COLA.
Thank you, Elena Gagliano, for the record. Actually, I had my hand raised regarding the contract, waiting for you to open for public comment.
Well,
On that.
I tabled it, Elena, and I didn't open it to public comment. So do you have a public comment
Well,
on?
why not?
Do
Why
you have
didn't
a-
you?
On COLA? Move on, you there?
I'm still, it was 27 pages. I'm looking at the first page of that, and it
Okay.
says re-roof the courthouse, and if I recall, Mako.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Motion carried and passed.
Okay, so this is where we're coming into, go ahead, next agenda item.
Next agenda item, setting Granite County employees' compensation, including COLA for non-union employees.
Okay, if I may.
Yep.
So discussing this from last year, when the COLA was given to the regular employees. The road union hadn't been established or hadn't been decided yet. And then the road union requested the COLA plus $1, which the clerk and recorder has worked into the matrix for the coming year. So what didn't happen is that the regular employees should be able to receive the same as what the road crew received, to have the salaries as equal. They're equally work hard for the county, and they should be treated equally is what, and I know we talked about this. So what has happened is that Sarah has worked it into the matrix for the regular employees for them to receive a raise up to the fair and square raise of the road crew. And it's figured into there. So this year it would be, they would get 7%.
Your thought is that it's just that going forward, not retroactive?
Correct.
Yes, going forward. Put them up to the standards that the road crew.
So the motion would then be 3% COLA this year plus the $1 for all
Well,
non-union.
no, it would be 7%. So what happened, yeah, so with the road crew, they got that 3%, the Sarah Graham, clerk and recorder. They got that 3% plus the $1, and if you look at it that way, it's kind of like another 4% raise, so they had a 7% raise, the road crew did last year. But that wasn't decided until after the road had done their negotiations, so prior to that, the regular, just on the regular matrix was just the 3%. So we're trying to just kind of correct that, and then if you, yeah.
What we want to do is, because it makes it very complicated when you have this matrix that you work with, and then you throw in a certain amount of money. And so what we're working on is the way it worked out with the road last year, they received 7% raise.
But yeah, basically is
Yeah.
what they got.
So
Yes.
this year, it would be, the road would get the 3%, and the other employees would get 3% plus 4% to match. Coming up where the standards would be, am I saying that right?
Yeah, bring them up to where the roads caught last year for fiscal 26.
The one thing I'm thinking of is in
Confused.
negotiations with the union, they're gonna potentially say, well, you guys gave 7% to the other employees, we want that same 7%. I just seeing that. The other issue too with that is they did not do a notice to negotiate, and so they're asking you to at least open up wage negotiations, so you guys gotta decide on that issue next week.
Did we get anything from them?
Yeah, well, we got an email from Megan asking to open it up just for wage negotiations, and it said that that'll have to be the commission decide that. That'll be on next week. The other issue, I don't know if you saw the emails back and forth, is she's thinking that the foreman can be in the same union with the other employees, and that looked up the case law on it, and they can't. They can have their own union, but they cannot be in the same union with the other employees. That is established
Yeah.
case law,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they don't even have to form a union then, to form them.
They don't, they can, but they don't have to. So did you see those emails? Yeah.
Okay.
But, so,
I'm just wanting
yeah,
to understand this because of the fact that what we're doing is we're just catching the other employees up to a fair wage that the road
Yeah,
crew got
and-
last year.
and
So why should they ask for the same amount when they're just,
the response back in the if there's negotiations would be that 7% is matching, catching up from
Because-
what the road crew was given last year.
so how would you word it where they couldn't, because we're just catching them up because they were caught up?
Well,
after the-
negotiations, they can ask for it, but that would be I think the response back is it was
Yeah.
catching up from last year.
So what's our predicament here?
No, I'm just throwing out
Yeah,
kind of forecasting what's gonna happen. It may not.
I mean, it's just language, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the COLA and $1, it's just a 7% COLA.
Right,
Is that what
yeah,
it's gonna be then, or?
right, cause that's kind of how it's, to catch them up to what the road crew
So
got
I-
last year.
I don't think it would be, you could call it COLA. I think what you'd call it would be,
The COLA plus,
plus 4%.
Yeah.
Catch them up.
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah, COLA.
Is that what you're
10%
trying to
COLA
say?
for-
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, so in negotiations, if the road crew gets a little bit every year, then we gotta go back and give whatever we give to the road crew to the rest of the people, which
Well,
I don't
we
have a
just-
problem, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
argue it.
Okay,
I'm just saying that
It's-
if she keeps basing it on the road crew,
right, I'm just basing on what happened last year and how the elected officials, we got kind of worked.
like they're dictating what we're giving and that, and then we gotta go back and give to the other people.
Honestly, you know, and it's even more than that though, Scott, it's that we kind of course corrected for the elected officials last year.
Yeah.
And then we just gave the 3%, and then you gave 3% to everybody else, and then a few months later, the road crew got something else. So these ones were the ones that were left behind.
Yeah,
And that's really, it's because of I mean, we haven't generally,
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, other employees are gonna look at that and say, hey, you gave them $1, we're working hard too,
But I think-
why didn't we get it?
because of both sides,
They're always
because of
gonna-
both sides last
They're
year.
always gonna do it, cause the
Mhm.
union are always late doing that.
Right, and I don't think that we've
And
done
it's
this
like we're short
normally,
one
you know,
to
with,
get to the other.
with the
okay,
road.
well, historically, here's what we've done historically. And this is, one example is the union negotiated for us to pay into their retirement. So we felt it'd only be fair that we offer the other employees into our nationwide by supplementing an amount so that they could have that little bit of extra retirement. That's what we've done historically.
Right,
And it's just the fact that, to be fair to all our employees, it's the road, because they're a union, they fight for it. That doesn't mean that the other people couldn't actually, hey, I'm a county employee, I think it's only right that I should get that 4% too.
Here's another idea, the next time we are looking at the whole contract, Scott, I think looking at, making the negotiations earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe
We
help
asked
that.
for that before, cause
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
It comes back and it looks like, oh, now we're giving them, but we're not giving the other. That's all I'm saying. I guess it's always put back on us when, if they're gonna do this, they should before even when the.
so I just wanna reiterate, I mean, mostly it's because we did that correction or, you know, bumped it up. Over the COLA for the elected
Right.
officials last year and the road, so it's just, these ones got missed.
Yep.
That's really the only. So, that's.
Well, entertain them. Oh,
I just didn't know, do you want me to wait till public comment, or can I comment as a department head?
go ahead right now.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to ask before we jump in. Actually, Todd Grant, County Treasurer, what was the reason given last year for them requesting percentage plus $1 for the,
The negotiations with the
Yeah.
union, that's what it is.
It's through the union.
Their basis is always, a lot of it's looking at what other counties are doing, but there's a wide variety of what other counties are doing, so but that's generally their base is looking at whatever.
could the wording then be for employees? That there is $1 being added to the matrix.
4%, we're keeping it at 1%.
Well, what I was saying is, if you worded it as $1 being added to the matrix. In lieu of a percentage increase to match last year's. Just so that they can't come back and say like, well, all employees got 7%. But the wording for the union side of things, to look at it, would be, no, they received a 3% COLA increase and a $1 match for last year's wage increase to match the request. Just for the idea of, like Blaine was saying, that during negotiations, you may run into that. That's your decision, obviously. I'm just making that suggestion. I fully support the $1 increase for our employees. So that it is fair and equitable.
And I'm not against giving them, don't get me wrong there, but it just seems like, you know, we're throwing it back on another, somebody else and.
Yeah.
I'm not against giving them, I think the people do, I mean, we need to catch up and help, I mean, we're behind and to keep good health we gotta pay better. And that's all I'm saying, but it just, you know, we shouldn't dictate this on the road.
But I would think when we're, just a suggestion, when they're negotiating with the union, have to keep all the employees in mind on what that's given,
I
because the
agree.
thought should be, if we're giving to the union employees, it should be given to others, well, that's.
And we've done that, like,
Yeah,
and we've,
yeah.
you and I sat in
Yeah.
here with them and said that. So
And in the
I don't wanna
future,
drag this out.
not
I'm just
throw
sorry.
a dollar amount, keep it at the matrix level with a percent, because that's confusing everybody.
It's simpler on the. Running the
Which I
math on
have
it.
a proposal for them.
Okay.
So COLA
When that
was
happens.
4%, right?
Yeah.
So, all it is,
So it'd be for, yeah, not, non-union, non-county official.
I'll entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that, all employees receive, 3% COLA, same as the elected officials. But the non-union employees, of the county should receive an additional 4% for, how would you put it, fairness? You just.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, that could be fun.
So the 4% would be added to the matrix. So 3% COLA and 4% added to their matrix
Yeah. then
for a
the
total of
matrix,
7%
For the matrix.
For non-elected.
for non-elected, non-union employees of Granite County.
Very good.
Second.
Second.
Public comment?
That enough.
Can I just ask, I'm kind of on the same page with Ashley, is because everybody gets paid a different amount, is that 4% going to be more for one person than, I just don't know that. That's why I was thinking though, saying a dollar figure like she did rather than that 4%.
So it's just incorporating that dollar into the
Into the
matrix
matrix.
at the beginning, just so, because it gets way complicated with our matrix to get that dollar in for each one.
So the matrix is a
Just do-
grade and a step.
Right,
And so you put the percentage into the matrix and it follows
Gotcha,
and so, and
4% for every employee.
okay. Just,
More,
yeah, I
but
just
yeah.
didn't know. I get that it's the matrix with it, just stating
So-
if somebody got $1 and somebody got $1.03.
Three.
What the, that's all.
So just
I know, it's just
keep it like that.
complicated.
Right.
It is,
Counting is all complicated.
It is.
uh-huh,
Do you have anything?
No.
I agree with you, I think it could end up being $1.03, so that,
And
that,
it does.
and that's kind of what you gotta consider, if you're good with that, then that's you guys.
Well, that's the way the matrix
Yeah,
works anyway.
Yeah.
Sure, it's
Yeah.
always someone else gives an extra penny.
Yeah,
I would like to do that with the road crew matrix also.
All in
Just
favor?
saying.
yeah.
All in favor?
I. So and then with, may I make one more comment on?
Now we're gonna have to redo the whole.
So with union negotiations, we wanna stick with a percentage instead of a dollar amount going forward.
We can do the exact same thing on the road matrix where it ends up being
Yeah.
$1.03 percentage and incorporate that dollar, so I thought of that.
Well, the reason why we're doing the matrix in the first place is to incorporate, that's the base and you add the COLA to it. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the thought to just make it simple,
Yeah,
but,
Yeah,
uh,
and we
doesn't
can make.
Yeah.
work that way.
We can make it too, which I've got all of
Well,
that
yeah,
here.
it's like it's threw a dollar in there and then goes through and it would look just fine.
Mhm.
Apparently not.
Alright, so we'll move into the next agenda item. Granite County's payroll schedule for employees. Okay, so. It was, I guess it was brought to attention with it last week when we had the meeting that,
Compensation board brought it to attention too.
the compensation board, yep, that, instead of like, especially with the cost of everything, it's hard to make it from paycheck to paycheck on a monthly monthly pay scale, and I was kinda on board with him too, also thinking that, 2-week pay period would be better, where you get those additional 2 months out of the year where you end up pretty much with 3 paychecks in 1 month, so I think that would help. You need to see with our employees.
So we've discussed this and I think that every 2 weeks is probably not real feasible with, the payroll. I think bi-monthly would be a better way of paying, where they still get paid twice a month. And then that's gonna make it easier for payroll to, do this, where they have all these things that have to be done during the payroll period, journal vouchers and time cards and. So I think the bi-monthly is the best. Sorry, you don't need to have 3 paychecks in a month. No, just kidding.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's still.
No, I know,
Once a month.
yeah.
Definitely getting away from the once a month.
Just, yeah.
Is kind of what I was looking at.
Before we get too further in this, I'm gonna excuse myself for this, cause I've asked a few people and I got a couple comments, are you just doing this for your daughter? And I'm gonna back out.
Okay.
It's not wrong.
I don't think you have a conflict in that, but
No.
if you wanna recuse yourself.
Because
you
you're
can.
doing
Yeah,
it
it's
for
not-
yourself too.
Yeah, that's not a conflict. The, one thing I was gonna say is, do they still do the Christmas fund too?
Yeah.
So people, or no, okay,
We're done with that?
done with that, alright.
Well, they don't have a Christmas fund anymore?
Where you can take some out of your paycheck and then.
Oh,
for
that
Christmas.
No. The bank, it was, when they switched over to Citizens, it was gonna be, it wasn't, yeah,
They wouldn't do it.
They still
Uh,
have mine, didn't
huh?
they? They tax it on my equipment.
But I don't think that you add into it, though. I don't believe that we,
You had a big pot, so you know.
yeah, you probably still have.
Bummer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years and it was just, I can't remember, they were gonna charge us. Because that was like a real nice free savings account and stuff, no, they were gonna start charging and they couldn't, so, yeah, we had to like,
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
Corporate.
yeah, it's charged.
yeah, so.
Go ahead.
Grand County Director after talk, are we discussing more along the lines of the, timesheet module or the option of moving to a bi-monthly?
We're talking first about the option of going to,
Oh.
yeah,
So with that, I would like to see maybe a survey go out to current employees or a questionnaire that they could answer to. I do know that a lot of employees don't feel comfortable coming and talking about this during the meeting. And so, you know, you would maybe just send out a simple questionnaire. You know, would this benefit you? Do you think it would benefit a new employee? Those types of questions. I
For
think
the
it-
bi-monthly.
For the bi-monthly, yeah, because it does greatly affect how they budget your current employees. Future employees, yeah, it's a hard transition, it is, coming from, you know, if you have a bi-weekly or a every 2 week period, it's hard to come into a one paycheck a month, but for your current employees, I think it would be very important to ask them about that, or ask your department head.
Yeah. Well,
How about, yeah, just let the department head know and then the department head tells the commission.
well, I think if we go to pay scale, we're going one way or another. We're not gonna have,
Oh,
Yeah, oh,
no,
yeah.
absolutely.
we're not gonna have someone semi or someone monthly that already are the new employees on.
No, I would
Yeah.
100% agree with that.
And also with my thoughts at least on this was if we went to a 2 week or a bi-monthly, we would have more applicants for jobs.
I totally agree with you.
I think that month paycheck where you're moving jobs and move to town or wherever, you're out 2 months before you get paid. I think that at least through the interviews, that's kind of what I've noticed in the last
Kind of want
couple
to.
interviews. Like, when's the first paycheck I get? Cause they're gonna be waiting for a while.
I think the only questionnaire could be, do you want to be paid twice a month or once a month?
That's all it is.
Just simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Or they let the department heads know and the department heads report back.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it greatly affects how people budget their monthly paycheck that they currently have, to have that change. And you're doing this to benefit your employees, so I think that having their feedback is important.
Maybe we do, have to go out and have it into Miranda's office by 5 o'clock Friday. We can
Thursday.
or Thursday. And then we can, have it on the agenda for next week to make a vote.
So we need to, the payroll module, what is that? for the
Oh,
payroll?
so anyway, with this, because, I mean, there would be more work and it does take a long time to get through all the papers. So when this was first brought to my attention, I asked other clerk recorders, you know, how their pay is, and some have gone to the twice a month or, you know, every other week, but most have stayed monthly. But the ones that have gone to, well, actually, what they came back with is there's a module in Black Mountain that is a timesheet, just like our paper timesheet, but it's in Black Mountain. And so then it's not the paper anymore. It would all be electronic, it would be in, and it completely just incorporates right into the payroll system. And so we had a meeting with Black Mountain to see how it all, and it would be specific, it looked just like your paper sheets. And it has nothing to do with time clocks, you're still just putting in 8 hours or 10 hours or this vacation, you can put little notes in, like with the road crew, that would totally eliminate their little sheet that they have to write what they do on, because they'd say 8 hours and, you know, Rockford Road, and then bam, done. And so it would make, and since it incorporates right into since it is from Black Mountain, and people just love it, and it's saving time.
Sounds familiar, like kind of what the state.
Mhm,
part
yeah.
uses.
Yeah, so, and then the people they would have their own login, they would do that, and then the department heads would be able to look it over and check off that they saw it, you know, basically just like that they signed it.
So, do you want, I can make a motion?
Oh, well, I guess what's the cost of this?
I think it's like $1,700 a year.
Yeah. If it's just
Yeah.
something that, yeah, it'd be a payroll expense.
No, yeah, well, just put like 20,000.
No, no.
Programs get
But,
expensive.
yeah, right, no,
the motion would be on, we'd wanna get input from the county employees whether or not they wanna change to bi-monthly. I think we need to decide bi-monthly.
Yeah, and I think maybe we just probably table the whole thing for
So,
next week and make a whole motion on that.
So could we maybe get the department heads to visit with their employees and get a survey going?
yeah, we can find out, but I have one.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether we do the bi-monthly or stay at monthly, I would like the
Just for-
modular.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely,
That's.
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll entertain a motion for the payroll module.
I make the motion that, the clerk and recorder's office receives, or with Black Mountain, they put the payroll module in.
yeah, the time sheet.
For the time sheets.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna
Electronic time
streamline it, yeah, for time sheets.
Thank you.
So don't get it, put it on one sheet.
All in favor?
I,
Okay, then we'll table the,
she had a comment.
So excited. No, I just wanted to say that I walked through the training and the quick tips on this on Black Mountain after this came out. And I think that as a department head, it's gonna be extremely useful. It just is very integrated, and I think that it's gonna save a lot of human error and a lot of time on everyone's
Yeah,
side.
yeah, should have been
I'm
done,
excited to see this.
should have been done years ago.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's my comment.
Okay, we have another
Thank you.
and then we'll,
I just wanna say, I know we only have 2 employees for Drummond, but we use it and it's very good because you can track comp time and
Yeah.
everything within it. It's just so much more efficient.
Thank you.
and then we'll table the, monthly deal for till next Tuesday, but yeah, get a survey going, I know, or whatever.
You know, or having to send out an email to all department heads.
So would Miranda send out to all employees whether they want, or would clerk and recorder do it?
Yeah, I just say department heads.
Department heads.
Right, department heads, and then I guess we'll take care of the road department.
Okay.
Pretty well.
Do you want department heads to come in or just email?
We just email. How
I
many
think it's a
for,
big major deal.
I don't know.
You don't need a name, you just want.
Yeah, say, 5 for monthly and 2 for bi-monthly, or that's all we need. Just numbers.
That'd be, what's your?
Alright.
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay. No, I use that same type of program at the state there, and it's pretty slick. You can even, so on this one, would you be able to go in there and, say like, for the road department, especially a bunch of overtime, can you go in there and change your dependence on that too, through that?
Oh, yeah,
You could
no,
use-
I'm
be able
not
to do-
sure
just be
if
able
we
to do
do.
that. Like,
Yeah.
state, you could go in if you knew you
Yeah,
had like.
theirs is all with their benefits and stuff, that could be strictly for the.
Just time.
The time.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I believe so. Any other thing, yeah, I think that would have to come to our office. We will all be able to change all of that. That you wouldn't be able to,
No, it's pretty.
that's locked.
It's a pretty slick deal. The only thing I'll say, like, department heads will be yelling at your employees because they won't do it on time.
Then they don't get paid.
So how long would it be before you can transition to the new module, do you think?
We'll probably talk to them today. And, you know, and so we'll do, I mean, we've got this payroll this week. And then, we would probably have it for next. It's a month away, so we probably should be able to incorporate it, but yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go around and
We'll go talk to them.
show all the road department how to use a computer.
They know how to use it.
Okay, well.
But the only
they wanna
one,
get paid, right?
yeah, the only one that it will affect that we're not sure that they could come in is the weed crew. And
Oh,
they don't
okay.
have the computer. It'll be great for solid waste. Because, you know, those guys but the weed crew, but they could probably come in,
Right.
you know, once a week or something and
Yeah.
go deep.
Since it's cloud-based,
But
did they do it on their phone?
No, so that they, when they first did this timesheet, they did have an app, but it did not work at all and they shut it down. And so I think they're still kind of working on trying to get one, but they won't implement that until they know. it's gonna-
I'd
Because,
definitely keep that on a, yeah, security server.
yeah, so anyway. Mhm.
And even with the weed crew, I mean, if they just gotta put their paper in or something, I mean, there are two of them, they
There's-
can still probably maybe just turn them in paper
Well, they would still have to input it into computer, so it would just be going down to the extension office and working.
or, okay.
Never.
Or using it. Yeah, they just probably willing to do it once a day, like everybody else will do. They'll,
Do it weekly, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move into Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority update. Alana,
Good morning.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
Charlene Buca, hi. Big Sky Passenger Rail, Granite County rep. So, let's see, I think you guys appointed me in December, so it's taken a little bit it's been a learning curve, still a learning curve. But getting my feet on the ground and, these things do not move at the speed of light, so, did I can't remember if I sent you the link right here, for the 2025 annual report. I think we're getting printed copies at the annual conference, so I can make sure that I get some distributed to here, but basically last year for the highlights, the Big Sky North Coast Corridor, there was continued advancement through the Federal Railroad Administration Corridor Identification and Development Program. So that's moving forward. We're seeing growth in regional partnerships from Minnesota all the way along the corridor through the state of Washington. There's federal legislative engagement with Senator Sheehy has put forth a bill, and there is a lot of interest from other senators in joining in to help with some of the funding issues for this type of initiative moving forward. Workforce development is huge when you put together, passenger rail service that hasn't existed since the 70s. You have to have people who can, help that system operate. So from, railroad engineers to ticket sellers to people that clean and maintain and, all those kinds of things. So there's several studies going on to look at what kind of programs we need nationally for this kind of effort. Do we need college education? Do we need trade school? Where are the demands gonna be for what kind of positions and what kind of trainings for the long term? And then, of course, working on community outreach and continuing to get information out on where we're at, where we're going. And again, these are long-term efforts, and if you look at any kind of transportation efforts across the nation or in any other country, these don't happen in a year or two. They go on for years and years to get all the parts and pieces together, whether it's air, rail, buses, highway systems, you name it. So lots of questions on why does it take so long, and if it's not going to come into fruition for 12 years or whatever, why are you doing things now? But because you would be behind the 8 ball if we weren't planning ahead and all the pieces that have to come together. So in Helena, August 24th through the 27th will be the 2026 Greater Northwest Rail Summit. As a member of the board of directors for BS PRA, I've been asked to attend and have a role in that. So I would encourage Mayor Gail, and I'll be talking to Ann and commissioners. about attending if you can, even for a portion of it. It's important for counties to be involved, even though we're, or where we're at in the process, but it's important for engagement. The very least, I will be there and I can bring back information. There will be, congressional representatives there. There will be industry heads there. There will be other counties and states represented. Help. And then you look at all the reasons why in the US we want to put this line in place, not just to benefit Montanans, but, the population as a whole. And, whether it's another mode of transportation, it's healthcare accessibility, it's tourism, it's travel. There's just many, many commuter lines, which seems strange, I think, for us in this state. But I grew up back east and people hopped on the train every single day to get to work. We didn't have the expanse of ground that we have out here, but it's a common mode of transportation and something the US is a little behind on. And there is a demand for it through the surveys that have gone out in the state. Montanans have clearly said we need more public transportation modes, be they bus or train or whatever it is, for a variety of reasons, whether it's healthcare related, education, workforce, medical care, all those kinds of things. So, anyway, if you can attend,
What was the date on that?
August 24th through 27th.
Where's that at?
In Helena, and it will be at the new Heritage Center, which is across from the Capitol building. So, and then my request is reimbursement for the expenses related for that. Or in some part of the expenses, because I can go to the commission, or the board of the SPR, if the county is unwilling or unable to, cover some of those costs. Right now, it's 3 nights of lodging because I have to be there, at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. The conference itself doesn't start till 12:30, but we have things we'll be engaged with. Plus our annual board meeting is at 11 that day. So it's 3 nights of lodging plus taxes, mileage and meals. I have 4 meals that are covered through the, registration for board members is covered. So I believe what is not covered is 1 lunch and 2 dinners. So mileage, 1 lunch, 2 dinners, and the 3 nights of lodging. And boy, lodging is like an expense nowadays, no matter where you go. And we did get at 3 hotels special rates for the conference. So this is based on the Best Western. They got the Hilton, the Best Western, and something else. But I looked at other hotels as well, and they're more expensive. So yeah, the lodging is huge nowadays.
Especially from May to September.
Yes, during our peak of our season.
Tourist season.
So yeah, so I guess I'd request a decision on that. I've been attending the board meetings, which are not bi-monthly, yes, every other month. So, I've attended board meetings. I actually attended November's in 2026, and then January, March, and May, and then we have another board meeting coming up in July, and then there'll be the August at the conference. So just, continuing with those, maybe I need my head examined, but I am on 2 committees. I have picked up the donor recognition role for, we have government partners, and then we have, industry and, partners to help with funding of this whole organization. And so recognizing our donors is really important. Yes, they needed a person to fill that role. So, maintaining all that information and spreadsheets and making sure we do what we tell people we're gonna do based on their donations. So, and then I'm also on the fundraising committee. So there we are with that.
You got a big plate.
And, And I think so the big thing is, you got on May 26th, or it's dated May 26th, a letter from the SPRA for Granite County's voluntary contribution. And so do you have any questions on that? Have you voted on deciding to contribute or not? I mean, I have no role in that other than to provide information related to this.
That's on the agenda
Okay,
for.
so we got
today.
that request and did we send it to the clerk and recorder's office to? Or did we have to? I thought we were okay with it.
I think you're gonna vote today to.
Oh,
vote on
okay.
it today.
Yeah, and contribution budget, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a very quick and down and dirty spiel. Any questions or information that you're specifically looking for that I can track down?
You know, near having a meeting in July in Drummond at the library.
Yes, sorry about that. Yes, we are doing a community engagement,
Yes.
evening at the library in Drummond on July 7th. It's at 6 p.m., which would be great if a commissioner could attend. And really begin to start that conversation in the county of where we're currently at with this effort, what it looks like moving forward. You know, what are needs, demands, does Drummond want to be considered in the planning effort, as a potential stop? It doesn't mean we'll get it. I guess my recommendation would be that we say, yes, please consider us, because if we don't go through the planning process, it doesn't happen. We can always say, no, we're not ready for this, or doesn't make sense, or, you know, we can't accommodate it, but if we're not included. And I'd be looking for mayor and the commissioners to say, you know, yay or nay on where you want me to make a recommendation towards the authority, as that comes along. But we are actually to that point now of beginning to identify potential locations for stops on and then it'll go through the whole planning process and, you know, they'll look at what's the budget look like, who's funding what, when does it have, you know, all those things that come up with it.
So one question I have is, I guess, you know, since we are a very large and rural state, is like, has there been any talk about like, all right, like what, how many trains a day would be coming through, or is there anything?
Not yet,
Yeah.
you know, at this point in time, they have to use the existing infrastructure, so the
Right.
rail lines that are in place. And there's no passenger rail service on this particular line at this point in time. So it has to be integrated with the current freight lines, you know, and make sure that the infrastructure is there. Does the freight line train need to go on the side, you know, rail, you know, whatever. So there's a lot that still has to be done. But that's at the point that we're at, is to begin to look at those things of how many trains per day, where are they going, where are they stopping, you know, how many passenger cars will there be? How does that integrate with the freight and all those other pieces? You know, where do improvements need to be made? You know, a good example of that is on the High Line, the Empire Builder is, they got, I believe it was a $15 million grant in, I'm trying to blank on the name of it. But to rebuild some infrastructure up there to make, they did it in Havre and Malta. Sorry, that's good. Escaped me for a minute, but in Malta, they've got a $15 million grant. Construction will start later this year to make improvements there to improve safety and efficiency for passenger and freight up there. That's been a huge bottleneck for many, many years. You know, and this isn't to the exclusion of anything else, putting this rail line or adding passenger service here. You know, it's a need across the US, and, you know, we have to work together and integrate with all those other systems that are out there to continue to serve.
And then if it does go through and it's a success or anything like that, like the long-term plan, or would they be looking at putting just another line in just for passenger?
I don't
To get off the Freightliner line?
know. they have to look at feasibility and
Right.
costs and all that. I know
Yeah, I
that.
mean, that's like.
Yeah, that's way out,
Yeah.
but that is part of what that will be looked at in this whole process is what does it look like long-term, not just, you know, here and now, snapshot in time, but what does it look like long-term and projections?
At one time, they were talking about just seeing about shutting down, and just have a special days too, that they could just travel. And then like the others.
Like alternating.
Yeah.
passenger rate.
If that was just brought up, cause there's no way they can afford another track and try to get the,
Right.
no, you know, the white and then get access.
Yeah, right away, all that.
That was brought up at one time,
Oh,
but they're way out of
Oh, yeah.
lots of questions, lots of, yeah.
But it's moving forward.
It's moving forward and these things take a long time.
Gail Leeper, so I just wanna thank Charlene, she has come to our meeting and we have had conversations and, you know, I would ask that the commission does give their compensation to them, Drama gives their $100. But like she had stated, we have to get put on the plan to even be considered. Do we think it may not? No, but we have to act like it will. And so I would just ask you to do that. And that meeting at the library is at 6?
At 6
Yeah,
PM
okay.
on the,
Yeah.
6 PM on the 7th at the library, and we are working on bringing one to, Phillipsburg as well. It'll probably be in September, since we've got the state conference and everything. July and August are pretty full, but I am working in that direction as well to bring one into this piece of.
And Shirley, I don't know that I'll be able to go all the days over to the summit, but I'll take a look at the agenda and definitely will go.
That'd be great. Wow. Yeah, and engagement, I can only do so much in communicating what's going on, so, engagement is important from the county to make decisions on, where we go as things progress.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as I recall, the commission said we're gonna join back up or agree to those payments, so that's my recollection.
Yep.
Alright.
And it was like, what was it, like, was it like $1,300?
14 something.
14? Oh, right there.
It's a new number, I believe it's 13.
My other one, I just approved it, covering her.
So do we have that letter where we can just?
1361, and they have a whole formula they calculate it out based on population.
So would we submit the letter to the clerk and recorder's office to pay for, the voluntary contribution?
Like, that's what we're gonna make a
As in-
motion that accept and cover her and the pay the country.
Yeah, I made it all one motion. So I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we go ahead and pay our dues and then, cover Charlene's 3 days,
Spence. Second,
Second.
public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Elena Gagliano, for the record, one of the volunteers for Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority. Point of clarification, the Rail Summit, am I correct in assuming that's going to be available on Zoom?
There is, Elena, this is Charlene, there is an option under the registration, I believe the Zoom fee is $50 for attendance on that.
So that would save a lot of money for the county. And even if you can't travel all the way to Helena, you can watch it on Zoom and the public is invited. So thank you.
They're not covering all the people that wanna get on there, but for $50.
Nice remember us, yeah. They are. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried passed.
Thanks, Harleen.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Good day.
Okay.
All right. They're coming in for this next one.
Yeah, she says she would. You know.
We'll give her a few minutes.
For coming in,
Sarah.
oh, for the ballot language. I think she's probably already done it, hasn't she? Looks like the new ballot language is on.
Yeah. Or she's coming.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
She's coming.
You like that ballot language better?
Sure.
Yeah. There she is.
Hi.
All right,
You guys wanna come up? Sorry.
we'll get started into our next, agenda item of the Local Governments Review Study Commission's report ballot language for the general election 2026.
All right.
Should I come up here?
I guess I'll sit here.
Just state your name for record, please.
I'm Brian Sin, I'm the commission chair.
Luke Yotowski, Secretary of the Study Commission, if you want to, since you wrote the ballot language.
Okay, so have you guys had a chance to look over the new language? And what are your thoughts on that?
So, right, so Sarah Graham, clerk and recorder and election administrator. So looking at, and thank you for changing it to the yes and no,
Mhm.
because that's how the ballot has to be now. But since up in that first part of it, where you're asking whether you want to go from the elected official form to the
The
county
commission,
commission
right.
form. So you have everything stated in that you want to do this, keep it all the same as the elected, how it always has been, except for whether these other subsections, first you vote on that and then the subsections. So it's all kind of in there that you want to, when you read it, that it remains, with everything the way it is. So when you get down to the questions, the question just needs to be, yes, do you want to go to the county commission form, or no to the elected county commission form, however it's worded there.
Right.
And then the next one would be the sub option of going from the 4 years to the 6 years. So all you need is just, yes, the elected officials would be elected to a term of 4 years. No elected officials to, or however, but it's the exact same thing, going, you don't need to, put that second part on the no, saying, if this doesn't pass, then it will remain, because you already put that up above.
Oh, I see.
That's all. Yeah,
Uh,
and then the same thing with the one on the bottom.
Okay,
That's, yeah.
So this is Blaine Bradshaw. I think those are good suggestions. I don't think you need to redraft a report or anything. I think you submit it, the commission then will do a resolution, getting it on the, requesting the election administrator, have it on the ballot. The final ballot language can be tweaked by election administrator. So I don't know necessarily need to
Yeah.
amend your report.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got the yes and no, and I think.
okay, great. Yeah, I mean, I've never written a ballot before.
Right.
so-
Yeah.
Just kind of
Work of-
guessing.
work for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Work of art.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
So I think what the commission should do is, if you have any questions, but then you can accept the report as received, and then we can work on a resolution.
Do you wanna summarize your report a little bit?
Sure, so basically, what we concluded after sending out our survey, meeting with various groups, talking with people, there were two issues that people were interested in adopting, and that was changing the commissioner terms from 6 to 4 years and making it nonpartisan. The 6 to 4 years, our data showed about a 2 to 1. They wanted to drop that down to 4 years. The The nonpartisan issue was more closer to 50-50. So we thought, put it on the ballot, let the people decide. And so, in order to do that, we'd have to change the form of government to the commission form. So, and all the commission form, government change will do is allow those sub options that are voted on by the voters to take effect. So it wouldn't change anything else. So that's kind of how we set that up. And, so that's why we recommended it that way, because it was what the people were telling us. I will say it was a little disheartening. The level of apathy seemed to be rather high amongst the voters. I mean, we sent out, what was it, 2,300? 2,400 surveys and received 300 plus.
304.
Yeah. And which, I mean, really, people, this is your local government. This is important stuff. But apart from that, this is what we conclude. So, yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I know, 'cause we spoke about this. The question about the commission just being the nonpartisan. And would you be able to incorporate for ask that question of all elected officials going nonpartisan?
Actually, that's a good question. I do not know that there are the sub options there. How many, Luke? Like 29 or 30 sub options
Right.
that could be put forth on the ballot eventually to the voters with this new form of government to change things. And I don't recall, was that one of them?
Well, the difference between the elected county officials form and the commission form is pretty much named after the fact that you can change it to have any county official really change to a nonpartisan.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you'd
I
be
think
able to,
preliminary, I think you're right.
So my understanding is that you don't need to have it on the ballot to change it to nonpartisan.
correct, you could do it by ordinance, I think
Well,
that like.
Well,
So-
I think the ordinance then calls for an election though. Yeah, that's my, but I can double check that. I think the commission can initiate a request to go direct, by ordinance to an election or through the study commission.
So I thought the question was originally, it wasn't just commission, I thought it was elected officials. Be nonpartisan.
No, on the ballot here.
I know I see on the ballot
Yeah.
the commission.
Yeah.
Wasn't the survey,
No, the survey was us, let's say.
Just commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
so it probably should have been elected officials.
Could that be changed now? I mean, would you be
Yeah,
able
this-
to ask that question? Or
Well-
pose that to the,
Well, you could certainly change it on the
Change it.
ballot.
yeah, change
The,
it to,
The survey ship has sailed, so.
Yeah.
no.
right, no, but I mean, the question on the ballot, make it all elected, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can certainly do that.
Yeah, if you guys want, so for the
Choking.
study commission could look at one more issue. We have time.
But I mean, if
before
it were just, that would be the issue instead of saying commission,
Yeah.
to say elected officials.
I think
But
study
that's what I was
commission,
wondering,
study
yeah.
commission should go back and, look at that.
I was just
Have a
wondering
public
if it-
meeting on it.
So, my question would be, could we just remove this issue? And look at it by, just do the two issues instead of the nonpartisan just for the commission, because I think it should be all elected officials.
Yeah. I've reviewed this question and the county commission has to go put on, the county commission has to take in consideration what the study commission is saying. And so, if they're saying we want this issue on the ballot, it's gotta be there in my opinion.
Well, I'm just thinking that I thought it was elected official, I didn't know it was.
Right.
But there sounds like their
And could
petition
they-
wanted to look at it.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
my bad.
right now, I see no reason not to change it to just elected official. Luke, do you have any?
Well, the only thing is that the survey takers didn't have that question before them, that it would be all elected officials. personally don't think it would make a huge impact for things like, you know, sheriff,
Right,
but
right.
I don't know if it would be completely honest.
Well, I mean, it's certainly not dishonest because we will still put it before the voters. I mean, the voters are gonna decide one way or the other, so it's not our decision. So I think as far as putting it out there, I see no reason not for.
Or having I would think at least another public meeting on it to get any public input and then base it off of that.
Well, yeah, here's the thing though, I mean, all our meetings have been public and including 2 public hearings, it is advertised as such. And our attendance was, I mean, sometimes nil,
Yeah.
sometimes 2, so we're not really gonna get any feedback.
So on
the
the
public.
question, right here, you've got the percentages, and the question was, should the county hold nonpartisan elections?
No, that was the wording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
There we
well
go.
then we're in, there's no, yeah. I misremembered, I thought it was just the committee.
Okay, so,
Yeah, well done.
so you're
Read all
making
the
that recommendation to the, you're good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll make that recommendation.
That's what it says right here.
Yeah, and just reword the ballot to reflect that.
Just so, yeah, keeping it at the 2 sub issues?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what do we do now?
I just make sure that's in the minutes here today, that's their recommendation.
Right.
Well, I have one question. Before the commissioners can sign off on this, do we need to get a certificate of dissent from Elena if she so chooses? Because she wasn't willing to sign this today.
I don't think you need a certificate of dissent. She's probably gonna, I'm guessing, gonna give public comment too as well, and that could be put in the minutes. But, let me double check that, but I'm assuming that she'll be giving public comment here.
So what, we're gonna have the 3 issues then, but we're gonna change it to all elected officials be nonpartisan, is that what we're
Yes.
doing?
Yeah, elected county.
Gotta make sure we have county.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Yeah.
that won't work.
County and city or just county? Oh, I guess it's
Just doing for
They got their
county,
own-
the-
they got their own
The
city.
town of Phillipsburg
Yeah, they
is
got their
doing
own-
theirs,
yeah.
town of Drummond doing a state commission.
No.
No, just town of
Or
Phillipsburg.
just town of.
They'll do their own, they'll have to have their, if
I
they're
forgot they were doing
recommending
their own.
a ballot issue, they'll have to do that.
Right.
Gonna look up real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Dissent.
Yeah, we can say to Zilla, researching.
So how do we make a motion? Are we accepting this?
Yeah, I think,
With,
I think accepting it with the changes, and then the commission will need to do a separate resolution,
For,
calling
for
for the
the
ballot issue.
ballot issues? So we accept their final report
With the changes.
with the changes
Yeah, I think
on
that's all you do
the
today.
one ballot issue for county elected officials to be nonpartisan. So we're accepting, help me out here.
Yeah. Or
Accepting the report with the.
Did I
with the
say it right?
changes.
I think
Yeah,
so.
Okay,
but and listing the changes too, like you said.
and the changes would be, the issue would be county elected officials being nonpartisan.
And then the 6 to 4 term limit for the commission.
Yeah, with the.
What about it? Oh, yeah, all the issues, I mean, this is the review that you came up with, so all the issues would be
Accepting.
pretty valid, you know.
Accepting the report with the.
No.
Hmm?
Accept them all as one.
So we have to do what for each one?
No. Accept them all, accept them all as one, except for the changes to the commission for 2 elected officials. Or nonpartisan,
Didn't I say that? Apparently not.
in a roundabout way.
So all 3 I make a motion that we accept the Granite County Study Commission's final report. And that the commission do a resolution to accept the ballot issues of the report from the study commission to be on the general ballot in November with the changes to the local, whether it's elected or nonpartisan basis for all county elected officials, not just commission first.
So, look at the statute, it does say the final report must contain any minority report signed by members of the commission who do not support the majority proposal. No. I'd say that's another condition of getting that what's called a minority report that's signed by the dissenter.
So the minority report has to be
Included,
presented by the study commissioner who doesn't approve of the final.
it's with the final report.
With the
yeah.
final report. Where is that? Does she, Elena?
Yep.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Elena Gagliano, Study Commissioner Vice Chair. Thanks for opening up my mic. Kind of hard hearing. However, I'd like to know when the next meeting is going to be so I can attend. Because it's not just for the public's participation, it's also for the commission as a whole. And I haven't gotten, I don't remember it being presented or the final draft. I haven't gotten any emails regarding it until yesterday. And so I'd like to know when the next Big Sky passenger rail.
Is your question?
I'm
when
sorry,
the
I'm confusing the two. Excuse me, I'm
Elena?
confusing the two. I haven't finished. I'd like to know when the next public meeting is going to be for this Big Sky
What-
pass,
the study
whatever.
commission?
The study commission, yes.
Can I ask a question here? During your last meeting, your study commission meeting, Elena wasn't even present, was she?
Correct.
And before that, there was another meeting where you were trying to get this final report and she was on Zoom. So did you notify her that you had this final report and that you were ready to be on the agenda on the 30th before just the other day? Was she notified?
So the last meeting was, which Elena did not attend, was to finalize the report.
Yep.
Which is what we did.
Yep.
There were two of us. And then was Elena notified that we were on the agenda for this meeting?
She was.
She was.
Okay, so it was a quorum of two deciding on this final report. So now we're waiting for her dissension, right? Shouldn't she? We shouldn't
Well-
have to have another report.
I'd like to ask Elena. Elena, can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay, this is Brian. And are you gonna provide a dissenting opinion or are you gonna be signing the report?
I heard something mention that I wasn't at the last meeting, and I wasn't because I had surgery and I couldn't attend.
Yeah, we were under the
So
impression.
I would think, I don't know if there was a draft of it or a decision or anything
So Elena,
at that point. Nobody sent me anything. Don't you think somebody should have sent me an email regarding what you decided, the draft?
Elena, this is Brian again. You had told us you were gonna attend the meeting on Zoom. And so we assumed that was the case, but you did not. But then after that, I mean, the meetings were, or the minutes were filed and everything, and, I mean, I don't know what
Brian, a
else.
correction. A correction. I save all my emails, and I sent an email saying that I will try to attend
You
that
can't,
meeting.
So
Okay.
my advice is to, work out one more meeting with, Elena there and then, have a final vote on the draft with the changes to that sub. I'd include that in the, changes to sub issue 2. And, if she will, then either, like, vote with it or can dissent and do a minority report. And that gets attached to it, and then the commission can vote. So I'd encourage you to table it till that can be done, just based on the statute. And if, I guess that, the question will arise if she does dissent and doesn't do a dissenting, report, we'll have to take that one step at a time. Is that agreeable?
Well, let me just ask once more, Elena. Let me
Excuse
speak.
me.
Elena, let me speak, please. Are you going?
Excuse me. See, all right, I heard Blaine.
All right, go ahead and ask your question, Brian George.
Okay, so Elena, the question still stands. Are you going to dissent or are you going to sign? I mean, you have the report. Can you answer that question at this time?
turn her back on.
Turn her back on. All right, you're on, Elena. Answer the question, please.
Thank you. And I want to put this in the record now. I am a study commissioner. There's discussion taking place. I don't appreciate the fact that I am muted while I'm speaking. Now, this is what I'm going to say. I heard Mr. Bradshaw say my name, and he made a suggestion, and I wanted to say that I agree with Blaine's suggestion. That's what I agreed to.
Elena,
And I believe he said that this should be tabled and there should be another meeting. And I will attend that meeting in person.
So my question is because of the fact she's pretty disturbed about this, and there was a forum at the last meeting for this final report. There was the meeting and she was notified, and she's saying she wasn't, but do you have the emails to prove that you notified her that this is what was happening? And being you two are the quorum, why can't we just follow through? And if
The only issue is the statute saying we need the minority report, and that's the hiccup. Yeah, I personally feel bad that I have to advise to have one more meeting on this, but I think that's the answer. And if she'll agree to attend that, and then either they'll do a final vote with her there, and then if she doesn't vote in the affirmative, then she can do a minority report, attach that to the report, and then it could be submitted to the county commissioner.
All right.
But that is only germane if she objects to the report, which I haven't been able to get her to say one way or the other.
So she's gonna have to answer that. If she won't, I will I'll attach my letter saying that it's an implied consent. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, okay. I
Okay,
guess.
if I may say something. Because as far as the discussion regarding the report, the survey, one thing that's not taken into account is a number of the remarks that were made. And yes, there was a lot of remarks that they wanted it nonpartisan and that they wanted all the elected officials to be nonpartisan.
That
And
could
that
be-
was in the comments, from those on the survey. So, there's a lot of questions that have been unanswered. And again, I haven't been kept in the loop as vice chair. And if Ryan would like to send me copies of every email sent to me, I would appreciate that.
Let's just move, I think moving forward with another meeting, I think we'll resolve it.
Yep.
So, I think we're
We'll do
looking at
that.
a time that'll work for all the three commissioners, study commissioners and then, having this potentially on the county commission's agenda in the next two weeks or.
How long is it before they have to have that ballot language to get on the? They have a certain amount of
I
time.
I think it's August 10th.
Really got time.
Just time sensitive, but you have time.
Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and change the language on the one item. And we'll have the meeting, we'll get the vote, and then go from there, and then just resubmit the report. Is that the,
Yeah.
the plan? Okay, all right,
Thanks.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
Thanks for all your work on this.
Thank you guys.
okay. Is that it for now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys, thanks. Okay.
So you wanna? See, Rico kept popping in and out. Was he gonna be on this next agenda item?
What's on
Hey,
that?
brother, I think,
Oh, yeah, I think so. You want me to text him?
Yeah. Unless he had to leave for something.
oh, more.
You're wondering if you wanted to.
Oh, I see.
Oh, here he is.
All right, I just about to text you.
Oh, I didn't
If you wanted in here on that.
I see he kept popping in and out. Alright, so we'll move, we're a little bit behind, but we'll move into the next agenda item. The Pittsburgh Classic Bike Race and the failure of them to obtain a permit for 2026. We have Granite County Sheriff Rico Barkel in here to kind of help fill in some of the blanks, I guess.
We've had a lot of troubles with this. It just seems that we try to make plans and stuff and it just, I don't think it's working to get our.
So yeah, that's my opinion, that they should have got a permit, and I don't know that you guys actually charged commission actually charged a permit application fee, but you could, you're in years past, you've worked with them, but yeah, here they're just trying to totally bypass the commission. If they're using county roads, there should be a permit granted. So they,
And last year they were trouble to deal with too.
Well, at least graded roads, which we're doing for taxpayers, trying to fix our bus roads and that, and then they come right back in and bitch that we graded the road. I mean, I'm.
But, and the reason I brought Sheriff Barkel, speak for himself there.
Well, and this is, I was totally oblivious to like, they didn't go through you guys to the commission. So it was just on my calendar, you know, I got a call like, hey, we're having the bike race, like we do every year. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll put it on my calendar and I'll make sure you guys have what you need for deputy wise, using reserves, you know. And that was that. It's like, okay. And then I got a call the day like, from, you know, Commissioner Pulaski here, and like, hey, is there a bike race? I'm like, oh, yeah. Same one we have, that's going on for what, 3 years now, 2 or 3 years? And did not know, if I would have known that, obviously, I just would have, you know, bring it through the commissioners, make sure you guys, they get the permits or whatever.
Yeah, and nothing was on you, it's on this guy that
he
bypassed it intentionally.
Did you send him a bill for services or?
No, I've never sent them a bill. I've always used reserve deputies too. I've never used, cause that's what I told them, like, look, I can't give you, that's on the clock, you know, you get paid. I gotta have a volunteer reserve to do it, and then I have one guy that likes to do it for some reason, so, but,
So the commission has the option of sending him bill and or not approving it next year, but
I'm kinda on both. Send them a bill for the gas and wear on the tires, county vehicle, and then.
a permit application.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious too, because a lot of it takes place on the highway. I don't know, the contact, and again, they have all the signs up and all that, yeah, I mean, it looks correct, like safety wise, but. I'd be curious if they, or let DOT know too, right? Don't know.
Right.
I was just assuming all these, that's my bad,
Well,
assuming all these
right.
things were happening.
well, as of last year, I think we said yes, as long as, DOT said yes.
They wanted to see insurance, info,
Insurance,
their route, their safety plan, so there was planning on to do it.
Okay, so we brought it up to them too, you know, if it's a volunteer ambulance, we can't. Technically sit there,
Sure.
you know, and like deputies and I guess it's just been complicated and it's just always, you know, like that complaining about blading the road out there and.
No. Or we just, yeah, or just let this one go and from here on out, they can't use county roads, they can stay on the highway. And go to, or Georgetown,
Yeah.
from Drummond.
Come in next time and they can ask, yeah.
Question, when is this supposed to take place?
When was it supposed to take place? It's usually the second week of.
And they already had it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I said, that's why I didn't know. That's why Paul called me. like, hey, is it-
My phone was blowing up from the public, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So I
Right.
called Sheriff Markel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Because
intentionally
they-
bypassed the commission, because they
And
knew
they should have had a permit and didn't obtain one?
Yep.
So, but it took place anyway because you're bad. No.
They just called them and said, yeah, we got this on the agenda, or we got it set.
Right.
It's not,
Yeah,
it's not Sheriff.
Oh, I know.
Did they get permits to last? This is the third one, I think.
Yeah, they've come in on all.
Have it?
Yeah.
We've made them come in really.
Last year, we fought with him on a little bit, and he was fighting back, and
See, I just
We
provided,
we
were
were
getting
getting about dissolving this all together because of the complaints of the people. Just to what they're going around and they just pretty much took it over and pretty much said, heck with us, so I'm not the position to dissolve it.
Weren't they blocking some gates and things there on Rockford Road?
before I was commissioner, I had lots of problems out there. I had to just pull equipment in there and push them out of the way. So I could get through there.
And they just keep trees up, you know, my phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we talking about the failure to obtain a permit and to do something about it? Is that what this agenda item is about?
Yeah,
And both.
yeah, both.
Resolving it and the failure to obtain a permit.
and in future events,
Yeah, well,
I will
that's
ask, first question I'll ask.
Did
Did
you
you
talk?
get a permit from the commissioner or from the county?
Right.
Yes or no? No.
That's when Rico started really listing me a whole, this is what I got on my calendar, I'm like, oh, that's town, I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah, well, I got tons of things, but I know a lot of them like Town of Drum, Town of Beaver.
Right.
I get that countywide, you know, races or anything that has to do with any county roads. Yeah, I'll just, man, you gotta go talk to the courthouse first for, and you guys come and say, hey, you got an event scheduled, so.
so said and done, we can't do anything, it's already
Well,
been
you
done.
can send a bill for the
Bill.
application. Encroachment permit application fee and potentially for use of the, yeah.
So in the future,
You could do it for now, if you wanted to send them a bill,
It costs fuel,
yeah.
vehicles, they did use our vehicles and stuff.
send them a bill, did we go plow the roads for them and?
No, it had the sheriff,
Sheriff, yeah.
reserves, yeah, and then
County vehicle on there all day.
encroachment permit application fee, so it's up to you, it's up to commission.
Did we ever send them a bill before for, well, I don't think we should now. I think what we need to decide is in the future, this is the way it's gonna be.
Well, that was part of the fighting last year, cause it was like, you know, 'cause the year before, it was the same deal. We didn't know, or was it last year they used all the, last year we allowed them to, but we didn't know that they were using county resources last year. So then we did talk about like this year, we're gonna make them pay a bill for using county resources, and then he never came through us.
And we asked them to come in, you can look it up, that they were supposed to come in, they're supposed to let us know, cause we gotta kind of reach out to everybody else and let them know.
Just a thought, how about sending them the bill for that permit fee and then, doesn't pay it and you can use that as an excuse and, next year, and that's reasonable to say no next year, doesn't pay the fee.
So, Gail Leeper, so in Drummond, when we've had those races and those people reach out to us, we make them send us a copy of their permit from the state. We make them send us a copy previous to it of their insurance, and we tell them they have to provide porta potty if they're congregating at East End Park or whatever, and that we will not provide sheriff. They have to have their own flaggers and all of it before.
I think that's kind of what we did last, I mean, we got the state permit from them last year and all that, so.
They comply for the years that they did it, and then.
So they do better.
They do
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
This was blatant.
Well, then move on, I'd make a motion, we go ahead and send them the bill, and if they pay it, they do, if they, or the approachment, and they do or they don't. And then just,
The two, what is the application fee?
200.
200, is that what you want?
you don't have, well,
No, I just don't see, I mean, it's like when he closed the barn door after the horses had left or something, it's
Well, they should.
over and done.
only thing I'm saying, they should have come in, we've asked them to come in, but.
I think going forward, yeah, it's, they either get their permit timely or they're not getting it. But I don't think we can. Because we kind of let it lapse too, because it had happened and,
Hey, we didn't let it last, they never brought it to
well, I
us.
know, that's what I'm saying. Is it went through and we didn't know anything about it. Is what I'm saying, because nothing was brought to the commission. So it was
Right,
is what I'm saying,
I understand.
okay. So,
Well, I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
I,
Motion carried.
Do you want to send the bill in clerk recorder's office or Amanda or?
Yeah, right. Put on a quarter on.
Comes on the claim.
Yeah. Go that route. Maybe this will make them cooperate next year.
so I guess the next time they call you, you say,
Oh, I'm sitting.
Yeah.